Hey everyone, this is the Corporate Hiker Guy. If you've ever thought about taking a backpacking adventure but just not quite sure how to get started, this is the video for you. I call myself the Corporate Hiker Guy because I work for a Fortune 500 company, love the company I work for, love the team I work with, but it can get stressful from time to time. So I love to go backpacking. It really helps me de-stress and renew and refresh my mind, come back to work and perform. So I just finished a 4-day backpacking adventure in Yosemite National Park. Fantastic. Got some great footage for you guys. But before we get to the footage, I just want to share 4 tips that if you're thinking about starting backpacking, these tips will help you out. So the first tip is have a plan. So for this backpacking trip in Yosemite, we flew into San Francisco Airport. We drove our rental car into Yosemite. We parked the car at Tuolumne Meadows. We hired a transportation company to drive us an hour and a half from Tuolumne down through Mammoth Lakes up to Agnew Meadows. And then we started on the high trail and hiked 4 days back to Tuolumne and then drove our rental car back to the airport. The transportation company we used was named MAWS, M-A-W-S. So, the point I wanted to make is Yosemite required for us to have a permit to get our car into the park, and then also Agnew National Forest, where we started the trail at Agnew Meadows, required that we have a backcountry permit for our backpacking. So just make sure you understand, are there permits required where you're going? If you're going to be in a national park, most likely there's going to be permits required. Also, you want to understand the local regulations and guidelines in that area. For example, when we were backpacking, there was a fire ban, so we were not allowed to build campfires at night, and then also we were required to put our food in bear containers. So the second tip I have for you is to train yourself for the hike. Now, I know what you're thinking. Man, I work all day, I come home to my family or friends, eat dinner. When am I going to have time to train? I mean, can I go into the gym for 2 hours to train? Well, that would be ideal, and we're all in tip-top physical condition and just skip down the trail. But the reality is, for those of us that work all day, that just doesn't work. But I'm here to encourage you that you can do just a little bit of training, 20 to 30 minutes a day, and you can get yourself ready for the trail. I usually start about 6 to 8 weeks before I hike, and there's 3 types of conditioning that I do. The first is cardio. So I put my socks and hiking shoes on that I'm going to wear on the trail, and I walk around the block. So I'll walk briskly, I get my heart rate up, and then when I finish walking, I come into the house and I walk up and down the stairs 10 times. So I do that several times a week. So the second type of conditioning I do is strength training. Now again, I know you're thinking, man, am I going to go into a gym and pump iron? Well, that'd be ideal, but what I do is I just have some dumbbells in the corner of my office, take a break, 15, 20 minutes. I work my biceps, my triceps, I work my chest, bench presses, and I work these trapezoids right here in the neck. And that really helps on the trail because your backpacking straps come across here, and it tends to make these traps sore. So if you can work those, that'll really help you on the trail. When you're on the trail and you're using your trekking poles, if you've conditioned your upper body, it'll allow you to take some stress off your lower body, which will really help out. So the third type of training that I do is stretches. And there's lots of great stretching videos out there, but I just wanted to highlight one particular stretch that I like to do. You want to do some toe lifts, you want to stretch your calves, your hamstrings, your quads, the inside of your legs, the outside legs. But one particular thing I would really suggest is leg lifts. So you can do this laying on the bed at night before you go to bed, because it really doesn't raise your heart rate. So you can do this before you go to bed. What you want to do is just land on the bed, raise your leg, hold it 1, 2, 3, down. Raise your leg 1, 2, 3, down. You want to do 5 or 10 of those per leg, 2 sets, and then you will eventually work up to 15 per leg, 2 sets. And what that'll do, that'll strengthen these hip flexors right here, which tend to get sore for people that are new to backpacking. So, third tip for backpacking is to have the right gear. So you first want to start with your footwear, very important. I mean, you definitely don't want to show up on the trail with a new set of hiking shoes. You want to have shoes that are well broken in, well worn, and that you're 100% confident in, that you've been wearing when you start your backpacking trip. So you want to get a shoe that's a half to a full size larger than what you typically wear, because your foot will swell as it's on the trail. And also you want to leave plenty of room for your toes in the bottom of your shoe. I mean, you don't want your toes to be banging in to the end of the shoe when you're going downhill on the trail. I mean, if that happens, you'll have a miserable time on the trail. So the second piece of gear is your backpack. So, you know, I started my gear list from Eric the Black, who has a backpacking blog and website, and I just used that and modified it for what I like to do. But I count grams. I mean, you'll feel every ounce on your back. So you want to target between 15 and 18 pounds for your base pack weight, and that's everything in your pack, including your pack, but that excludes food and water. So you want to shoot for that 15 to 18 pounds. If you get up above that in your base pack weight, and then you add food and water, then you know you're really going to feel that on the trail. So the fourth and final tip for backpacking is just make sure you have a great hiking partner. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I have two great friends that love to backpack. My son likes to backpack with me. So it's so enjoyable to be out on the trail and to be able to share what you're seeing with someone else. Also a safety factor. So I encourage you to find that hiking partner instead of going by yourself. So with that, I just want to encourage you, if you've ever thought about backpacking, hey, give it a try. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a question, comment in the comments field. With that, keep hiking, God bless, and enjoy the video. So this is the end of day one of our Yosemite hike. We started at Agnew Meadows this morning. We hiked 7.8 miles and we finished at Clark Lake. So this is Clark Lake, absolutely beautiful, just amazing. Just did a little trout fishing out here. Trout weren't interested right now, but I'll try them a little bit later. Beautiful hike today. We hiked along traversed a mountain. To the left was just beautiful mountains, snow-capped mountains, waterfalls. Spectacular hike today. I think it's probably one of my favorite hikes. Really nice. So tomorrow we'll wake up, we'll hike another 7.5 miles to Marie Lakes. And so this is our camp over here. Great day. Hey, so we made it to Thousand Island Lake. This is one of the iconic places on the Pacific Crest Trail. Absolutely stunning. Trail came in down at the lake level, so we hung out there a little while and threw some rocks in, and then hiked up here, probably about 500-600 feet, switchbacks, and the view from up here is just unbelievable. It's beyond postcard picturesque. Ran into a guy down there who just caught 3 trout. He had 3 trout on his stringer, so he was going to cook up some trout for lunch. Just an incredible spot. Absolutely beautiful.
up the edge yesterday, did a little fishing, caught 5 little trout, not that big. It's a very unique area. This is we're in a granite bowl surrounded by these walls all around. It's so unique. Really special place, you know, very unique looking, and probably one of my favorite campsites.
Yeah, we're hiking up to Donahue Pass. I just want to take a video of this because we are literally surrounded by granite walls. We are in a bowl here. Really unique looking. There's Donahue Pass right there, a little dip. But just so cool. It's this bowl, and then it gets down here. You get this little rock field with grass. And just all the way around. That little V there up on the horizon, that's Donahue Pass. That's marks the boundary between Agnew National Forest, which we're in now, and then once we cross up there, we'll be in Yosemite. It's about 11,000 feet. So that's what we got ahead of us here. Looking forward to it. All right, made it up here, top Donahue Pass. Looking back down into Agnew. Those peaks right out there on the horizon. Just before that is that bowl where we stayed last night, Marie Lakes. So that's where we hiked from this morning. And that's just like that little ridge right there. We're going down into Yosemite. Awesome. So we are now down in the Lyo Canyon floor. So you can see how green it is, and boy, just like somebody took a magic marker and just started coloring everything green. So we came from back over that way, descending down all those rocks, and then just boom, opens up into this green canyon here, and that's what we're going to be hiking. Well, we just hit the canyon floor, Lyo Canyon. We've just been coming down the backside of Donahue Pass and finally got to the floor, and then boy, it's just so green, such a contrast to the granite behind us that we hiked. Really pretty.
Hey, so this is the end of day 3. We had a big day today. We hiked about 11 miles. So we started at Marie Lakes, went up to Donahue Pass, over Donahue Pass, down the other side. Pretty good hike. It was rocky, obviously, down the other side of Donahue, but then it just opened up into this huge meadow, which is Tuolumne Meadows. And so hiked that for a while. Got to our campsite tonight, and we're camping right next to this beautiful little stream. I mean, it's Ireland Creek. Almost like our own personal creek here. So we soaked our feet right here. I mean, this is definitely snow melt. We couldn't even keep our feet in here over a couple of minutes. It was so cold. But just another great day. Tomorrow morning we'll wake up, head out, and get our car in the parking lot. right, so we made it back to the parking lot. Finished our hike. It was a great hike. We started out this morning, it was a little bit chilly, but hit the trail, the sun came out. Very nice hike today through Lyle Canyon. And just a great hike overall. I know I say this every hike, but this has got to be my favorite hike. It's just so, the landscape is just so varied, you know, granite walls to lakes cascading into each other to green meadows. Just really spectacular. Really great hike. You know, my body's tired, but my mind's refreshed and renewed. Recharged my batteries and you know, ready to get back to my family, get back to my job. And so if you guys are thinking about doing a hike, I encourage you to have a good plan and go for it. So keep hiking and God bless.